Welcome to The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. Thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm your host, Meredith.
And I'm your host, Cass.
Let's have some fun.
I can't cry in the car.
You cried last? No, you didn't cry when Brianna was on.
2 weeks ago.
You cried 2 weeks ago. I'm so sorry you have to come over here and cry over the podcast. So, you have the kind of job, and so do I, that we walk into a store and we kind of like own the store for the time that we're there, right? You walk in, everyone knows you, everyone knows that you work.
They all recognize me, but my name badge is always turned the wrong way, so they never know my name.
And that's okay because they can walk right up to you and be like, hey. And like earlier you were mentioning like you kind of rub elbows, but then you're like, I'm out, especially if it was getting what word did you use?
Corporate-y. It gets way too corporate-y. I'm fucking out of there. I start seeing like a bunch of dudes with name tags that say like store director, assistant store director. Yeah. And then you see the dudes that you know are important and it just says like Ken. And you're like, oh, fuck this. I'm out of here, Because it's
like you should know who he is, right? Because
and then
there's no title.
Then I'm embarrassed. I'm like, fuck, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
And because this is me. I'll be like, oh, hey, what do you do here? And they're like, I'm the vice president of this company. And I'll be like, oh, fuck. Well, let me flip my badge around so you definitely cannot see my name.
And you know what's funny? I think we're similar in this. We're not intimidated by anybody.
I get intimidated.
You do?
Sometimes. Yeah.
So I don't at all. Like when I was working like at stores, right? They would have like corporate visits or holiday walks or anything like that.
And that's what we are there for, right? Yeah. Like that is our job, is we are there to make shit look good and help them be presentable. Yeah, like which I think they should
shine the shit
times.
And then get out, right? That's always what we were doing. And people would say, oh, well, so-and-so is coming. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah. Okay, it doesn't matter to me. Yeah. I'm going to still do the same work. And if he walks up and says anything, or if she walks up and says anything, I'm going to say, hey, I'm Meredith from blah, 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 and this is what I did for you today. Or do you got any questions? Or you want to talk sales? Or
I tuck my head and I just walk the other way. I'm like, I'm fucking out of here.
No, I don't. We're all the same people. We eat shit, sleep, drink.
I know.
Like, I don't care what you do. I understand that you're in a higher level because you have worked for it. Some people.
800 years ago, I was definitely a peasant, like bowing down to royalty.
Yeah,
like,
no. I used to do that where we worked, and I learned my lesson. Like these people are, they're not nothing, but they're nothing in my mind when it comes to a level.
Yeah,
like
it's
funny.
We're
all the same here. We're all human.
Just the other day, I was talking to my old boss at the job where we met, and like my most recent old boss, right? And I was like, oh, is so-and-so still like your like director or whatever?
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, yeah. I'm like, I fucking hate him. He's like, yeah, so, he's got to give me my review. He's like, and he's like a super jokey guy, right? Like he's always laughing.
Always fun.
He, and I will say, is one of the few, there's been like 2, maybe 3, that would carry a box cutter, and like actually work.
Yes.
And he's one of my favorites my favoriteest bosses that
he wouldn't spend 10 minutes finding someone to fill a hole that he could just walk to the back, grab it, use the box cutter and put it out.
He would be like, oh, this is looking light. I'm going to go grab the whole pallet. And
everyone else is busy doing something else. Right. Yeah.
So he's like, Cass, I'm always, I'm not very serious and this and that. Yeah. He's like, so the boss comes to give me my review. And we both sit down at the desk, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm good. How are you? He's like, well, I was just looking at resume paper out there, just in case I needed to fill one out. He's like, and he just looked at me like, why? I'm like, what is wrong with you? You can't joke with him because this guy's like a total dick,
Yeah, he's very
one of those
serious.
people like. You can't even just be like, you can't even make the smallest joke. He's not.
Very linear.
Yes.
In just sales. And he's pretty much just there because he has to do the review. And he'd rather be thinking of anything else.
Is this what you're like at parties?
Yeah. No, there is no parties. There is no parties.
He doesn't even bother going.
No,
he's like, I cannot put a smile on my face. He's like the Kardashians and the Wests, right? They don't smile.
They don't smile, right?
Then somebody might know they did because they'll have a line.
Right. No, he doesn't at all. That's so funny.
It's so funny. So, yeah. I told my old boss, I'm like, I can't believe you did that.
So I was working with someone who was pretty high up there.
Yeah.
Same thing. Very serious.
Yeah.
And then he went to go like flip his phone over to look, and it was him smiling with his family.
Oh my God.
And I actually looked, I go, oh, you do smile. And he kind of like gave me like this little grin, like, shut up, like I got to keep my hard ass here while I'm, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
God.
the store I was at today, they were having a walk, right?
Oh, yeah.
And this store gets walked all the time.
Yes.
And
it's a very busy downtown store.
Right. I've had bosses tell me, like, you will always get a list of things that were wrong. It will never be 100% right. So I'm talking to this guy today, and I was like, man, you'll always get a list of, and he's like, not me. Nope, I don't. And I'm just like, holy fuck.
So I have been told that if you didn't get a list from your boss, that means they're not doing their job.
Yeah.
So they have to give you something.
They have to give you something.
They have to.
I'm like, what if he even
or
just
they're
says,
not doing their job.
I saw paper on the floor, And he's like, nope. He will never fucking see that when he comes here,
Yeah.
And he's like, this guy's good to me. He knows I run my shit like a tight ship and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you are fucking insane.
Yeah.
So I had to go to that store like 3 times this week, right? Because, we're prepping for this and shit wasn't right. And I needed to set up this display, but the product wasn't there. So I had to go back and do it. And then it wasn't right because we got 4
and that's
different
not a short
memos.
cruise for you.
No, it's like an hour and 15 minutes away. It's like my furthest fucking store.
Jeez.
And they're like, yeah, we need you back again tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm going to fucking slit my wrist if I have to drive down there again. So actually one of my coworkers calls me yesterday and is like, hey, the store director there got a hold of this store director who has my number, and he's calling me wondering if this is going to be done. And I was just like, holy shit. So I get there, well, first I went there on like Tuesday, right? And I'm looking for the manager of the department that I have to set this huge fucking display up in. And it's a city store. They don't have a lot of room. It's a freezer display. They don't have a lot of room for that.
Wait, in the freezer or like by the freezer section?
The bunker of the freezer.
Oh, it is in the freezer. It is
frozen item, and there's 12
I always
flavors.
hated working frozen.
And guys, I know you that work with me. I know you're listening. And this project was a fucking bitch.
Really?
Just because you're taking up 6 feet of their frozen bunker. And some of these stores, like this one,
they don't have an extra 6 feet?
They have 1 frozen bunker.
Oh, no.
1 in the whole store. And I'm taking up, and it's probably maybe 12 feet, probably only 10. So, and I'm taking up 6 feet of it.
Are you taking product out and putting it in the back freezer just to set this display?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And it is
I
approved.
bet they're real happy with you.
It is approved.
Yeah,
like,
from top.
I have to like show them emails like, no, this is not just me saying, hey, I want to bring my product into the store.
Oh, wow.
Like, this is your boss's boss's boss wants this fucking product in here. And no, we can't double up rows. No, we can't make it less. Like, it has to be 6
what the
feet.
picture's showing.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So I walk into the store and I go look for the meat manager because it's his department. I want to let him know what's going on and this and that.
Yeah.
And I see the store director and I was like, oh, fuck, like he's here today. He's there every day. I don't know why I'm surprised to see him.
Yeah, right.
I don't think
he's got a cot in the back.
I don't think he ever takes it.
No. His wife hasn't seen him in months. She doesn't even remember what he looks like.
He's married.
Oh, that's why.
He's like, I'm a single guy. I don't want to go home.
Yeah.
It's
I live across the
cat.
street.
It's my cat at home waiting for me. So I see him and he's paging the meat manager. So I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, I need the meat manager too.
Oh, yeah.
And he's looking at this cooler, and it's a double door cooler.
In the meat department?
In the meat department.
Uh-huh.
And they have like, some seafood on this side, and they have kosher stuff on this side. And he's talking to his assistant because he has this minion with him, right?
Oh, gosh.
I call him his minion. I don't even know the dude's name. I just call him Minion.
He just follows the store director around taking notes?
Not like he's just at his beck and call. He'll just be like, he'll throw shit at his minion. Like, here, catch it, And he does. And he's just like, do right behind him, like knows his every move, knows where he's going next. Like, I feel like they are just 2 peas in a pod. Maybe they live together.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they each
roommates.
have a cat.
They're roommates.
Yeah.
Because they
go take naps together and then come back to the store and they just know.
They're joined at the freaking hip,
wow.
Right? So he's like talking about this cooler, like, this isn't right. There's 3 shelves on this side, only 2 on this side. What the fuck? Go see if you can find a new shelf. And he says, like, what the fuck,
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, okay, like, great. Store director.
So you're watching all this.
I'm like, he's in a great mood today. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So Minion goes to find a shelf, and here comes the meat manager. And he's this young kid. He's probably like 23 years old. Brand new. Been there maybe like 6 months. Maybe he worked in the department before and got promoted. I don't know. I don't know where he came from.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's young, and this poor guy, he's probably only been in retail for like 6 years because he's not that old,
Yeah.
So the store director is just like, what is this? This looks like shit.
Oh, no.
And he starts just scooping product and throwing it behind him. I don't know why you think this looks good. This looks like shit. It should be even, blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
and Minion's
no.
standing there with the shelf like, yep, sir, you need to put this in there and put the product back on it.
Oh, my gosh.
And
so the Minion went and got a shelf?
Minion went and got a shelf, came back like as this guy is just throwing product on the floor.
On the floor.
In front of me, in front of customers, like throwing a fucking fit, and I'm just like,
what?
I look at the meat manager and I was like, give him like, the, what do you call these
gun
fingers? And I was like, see you later.
You seem busy. I'll be back.
So I walked away. I was like, I can't handle this. Like, that would make me cry. I would be like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Especially being a young, meat manager.
I'm just not good with confrontation like that. Like, don't yell at me. Talk to me with respect.
That's
like,
extreme.
This looks like shit. Fix it. I want even shelves with product on all the shelves.
And we don't know the backstory. Did he tell him to fix it a few times?
Maybe.
Has he tried his best?
Maybe.
Maybe the shelf came from another store because the Minion ran down the block. We don't know, right? We don't know the backstory.
He hopped on his scooter.
Yeah, I mean, the L is around there. Maybe he took the brown line to the pink line to the purple line back,
He's back quick.
Well, yeah, we don't know. We don't know the backstory.
So I go do some other stuff and I come back and I was like, as he's picking up all this product off of the floor and putting it into a cart so he can put the shelf up and put the product back in, I was like, hey, how's your day going?
Oh, my God.
Because I got a joke about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I just borrow you for like 2 minutes because we got to talk it. So then I start telling him what I'm going to do in his cooler. And I find out that there's no product even there. I go, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to set it. You're going to see how we set it. Then you can set it. Product will be
Did
here
you
tomorrow.
take him over to the bunker and you're like, this is going and this is going and start throwing it? Repeat the store director stuff?
I would
You
never.
don't need this. You don't need I'm putting my stuff here. This looks like shit.
I would never.
I would.
I tried to talk him into like, hey, maybe we can talk him instead of doing 6 feet. Because it's like a walk around, right?
Oh, sure.
It's not divided.
It's where the
in
customers
middle.
would like go into it and grab it. There's no doors. They can reach in.
They can reach from each side, and there's nothing in the middle. Like some of them have 2 separate sides with like a metal going down the middle, a divider. This one's just open on both sides.
I'm gonna take a left turn here for a second. So if it's open all the way around and you have a plan to set, which way do you face the product? Do you have to split it in half to have it face outwards?
What I do is I face it towards flow of traffic.
Okay.
Main traffic.
Main traffic.
So
Customer
there
flow.
is like freezer doors behind it, but that's not main traffic. They're going over there because they see something over there.
But they're actually on the other side, so you're going to make sure the whole product, all the product faces
the
customer
main
flow.
aisles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
I always wonder
said,
that.
Yeah.
Because I've had that happen before.
Yeah. So I said maybe instead of doing 12 rows, we can do 6 and do them back to back, right?
Yeah.
So each row would have 2 flavors facing opposite each other.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Took a picture of it, sent it to the boss. He's like, absolutely not.
Okay.
It has to be this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, they're fucking bunkers like 10 feet. Where are they going to put the turkeys?
Yeah.
For Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're coming up.
Right?
We're coming up.
So now what little product they have in there, the whole like 3.5 feet.
And what are you setting? Is it seafood? Is that what you said?
It's frozen meals.
Oh, it's frozen meals.
Frozen meals.
Wow.
Yes. And like the top guy has already like seen it at the store and loves it and is like, absolutely, we need to push this in every single store. Because then after we go through all this and he's getting yelled at. I know this is a really long drawn out story, but
this is amazing.
It's so
I can
crazy
picture it and
me.
I wasn't even there.
I know.
You know?
I know. So then I was like, hey, guess what? You weren't even on the list to get this sent.
No. Did you totally just miss
Dude.
something?
It wasn't my mistake.
Okay.
We're not blaming me in this.
Okay, I'm asking. So someone's to blame.
We were sent a list of stores that were to get
and
this
it was
set
on
up.
that list.
It was not on that list.
Oh.
But I skimmed through the list and thought all 10 of my stores were on the list. Actually, I have 11 stores.
Oh.
I thought they were all on there. And then my boss said, hey, these 3 stores are getting walked next week. We make them priority. And this is the store I'm at. Later, after I said it, I look at the list again because I'm like,
wait a minute, right?
Why don't they have product? Why don't they have this? Why don't they have that? I'm like, they're not even on the original list to get this.
So were you told, hey, they're having a walk at these 3 stores, make sure this is set up?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I have had that happen before.
It's just, and it's an
one
honest
of those
mistake.
things.
It's an honest mistake.
Because you just hear, oh, they're coming to this store
right.
when we have this new price. Yeah,
right.
I get it. I totally get it. I've even done it before.
So say we have 75 stores. Only 73 of the stores were supposed to get
of
this
course,
set.
It's the one that you had to visit 3 times. Oh, my gosh.
But it ended up working out anyways because we got it set up after my 3rd fucking time there this week. Everything
So
was
the product showed up?
perfect. Yes.
It did. Did you order it?
We ordered it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted it set by Tuesday. I ended up going there literally at 6 a.m. this morning and setting it.
And they had a walk today,
and they had
so
a
they
walk
were able
today.
to see it.
Yes.
They probably were like, they don't have enough room for this, but this looks great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
They were
now
like,
they can
"This
sell
is-"
down, pull it.
They're like, this is fabulous. We're going to make a shit ton of money off of this.
Yeah, but they probably won't reorder it because it's going to be filled with turkeys in a week. Right? Oh, my gosh.
So we have like all this like signage for it and stuff. Like it's a new product, you know?
Was the signage delivered there or did you have it?
It's another thing.
I know. Signage is crazy.
Signage is just such
my
a
heart
pain
goes
in
out
my
to all the
ass.
marketing and creative people because it's such a pain.
You know, usually when we have something like this, it gets sent to each store.
Right.
I don't know who decided.
They have your home address?
No.
Oh, thank
God.
goodness.
Thank God. Because I did have some stuff sent to the house. I didn't think it was going to be that big, and it's still sitting in the garage, and Johnny's ready to murder me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't take it yet. I have to take all this shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm still emptying stuff from our storage unit and my garage. Oh, yeah.
So somebody decided, okay, let's pick 2 central stores. We'll have them all.
Oh,
sent
sure. A
to
hub
there,
store. A hub store. Yep.
Right. But like one of the stores that they sent it to, the back room is freaking tiny.
Oh.
And you know, they have to try to move her in.
So whose idea was that?
The boxes are huge.
Yeah.
I have a big
I guess
car.
you don't know. I guess you don't know what they're sending. She's giving me a dirty look like they knew what was being sent.
Yeah,
she's like,
until
they
last
knew.
week.
Someone made some mistakes here.
You know what? Because if they had any idea of what was going up in signage wise, they knew it had to be a big box.
This is why you have companies send you one sample size and you go and do it at a store nearby.
Yeah.
Because there are people that are in stores and then there's some people that do not go in stores.
Right.
So you have to say, send me one set of what you want us to put up.
Yeah.
Let me put it up in a store and just look at it, take a picture of it, and then we'll know.
Yeah.
And you also take a picture of the box that it's shipped in so that you know what you're dealing
Yes.
with. Maybe even with a measuring tape.
Yes.
And then that way you can tell all your peeps, here's what it looks like. But anyways,
Yes.
lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
I'll let you finish your story.
I drive an SUV.
Yeah, you do. I mean, it's not a big one, but
It's not big, but I can fold my back seats down flat. I can fit a lot of shit.
yeah, you can.
You
That's
know?
the nice thing about it.
Yes. I could only fit 2 boxes in my car.
No kidding.
2 of those boxes.
Wow.
And I couldn't see out my back window. So what
So what was involved? I know this is a super long story, but I'm very curious. Like, so you have 6 feet of this frozen dinners.
Frozen dinners. So it's 12 products, right? So you need 11 dividers to divide all the product up, right?
Yeah.
There's a magnet that goes on front of the cooler that's like, oh my God, look at our new product. There is a divider banner that, because most of the stores, like I said, have a 2-way cooler with a divider in the middle. So you like magnet the more signage there.
Okay.
Then you have these very obnoxious trifold, I don't know what you want to call them, just
like stanchion signs or something? Or
I don't know, what's that, stanchion?
Yeah, are they like in like a metal, like I don't know.
No.
Okay.
It's just a freestanding. You peel off some double-sided tape and stick it to it.
Like a tower then, sort of.
Tower.
Like in the,
there you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. 2 of those. And then your labels, your other little accessories.
Wow.
The box was probably about the size of this table.
Wow. It's like a 6-foot table.
It's well, okay, here. So
it's a 5-foot table.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they were probably about this tall. I'll say 18 inches tall.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Well, you know what? I guess the dividers do take up a lot.
The dividers do.
Yeah.
You get 11 dividers. But really, honestly, the dividers are only this long. How long is this? Maybe 2 feet?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
my goodness. You know, a company has this great product and then you have to spend so much on marketing.
Dude, and that,
I bet that was expensive.
They had to be $1 million in product that we were driving around with, you know.
And actually, who knows how much
I got a bunch of it in my car,
signs.
so you can check it out.
I will check it out.
Give you your ideas for your company.
Yeah. Gosh.
You can give us some.
No, oh my gosh, we have so much stuff.
Tacky towers to
we
put
just
up.
had a division reach out and say we have a lot of competition coming to our area in January. We need to have our displays pop. And they are just adding all the set space and all this. It's just, these meals are just the thing, I guess. You know, like you were mentioning the frozen meals. So they just said, you know, here's what we're doing and I need this and this and this.
Is it because people are hoarding, do you think?
I think it's convenience.
They're going away from making meals to just like, well, fill your freezer with as much shit as you can. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
I don't know.
So I just think it's convenience.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because I have one meat manager that is a really funny guy. And he's been a meat cutter for years.
Yeah.
I think he's got 45 years in the business, right?
Yeah, wow.
He's worked with meat. And he is just amazed by how much they are going away from meat cutting and just it coming in prepackaged. You slap a label on it, throw it on the shelf.
Well, we don't have labor in stores.
No.
We don't have people in stores.
No.
We can't afford labor. So they spend a little bit more money, you know, getting this done and sending it off so that someone that's 16, working part-time can just open a box and just throw it out.
And get paid minimum wage?
Yeah. And just throw these items out.
Yeah.
I thought I had
a
sneeze.
Are you going to sneeze?
Yeah, I thought I had a sneeze and then I touched my nose. So here's another thing. I don't know if we talked about this before, but so these meals that you're doing, are they single serve?
Yes.
So last year, many people had to live together.
Yes.
And they didn't like it.
Yes.
My counselor, therapist, tells me
I didn't even
divorce
think of
is
that.
on the rise because people got sick of it.
I didn't think of that.
Like you've mentioned before, we've lost a lot of people too.
Yes.
So there's a lot of single people out there now.
Shit.
Because of what happened last year.
Yeah.
And this is truthful. Everyone's rolling their eyes. But these people now have college children that are on their own, and you have a lot of single people living on their own.
Yes.
So what's the best thing that a single person who's probably working 2 jobs right now because it's expensive, and those, I'm just talking about those that are working. So they got their morning job, their night job. That's convenience.
Yeah.
Let me go buy a whole bunch of freezer single serves that look healthy, and you know, you got a little salmon or cod or, you know, beef or whatever, and I have 7 meals for the week.
Holy fuck.
That's my thought on that. And
That's
I believe
crazy.
it.
I believe that too. I didn't even think about that.
So be very thankful if you're still married and
Well, you know, us that worked through the whole pandemic.
True,
we
did.
No, you know.
Yeah.
Although, you know, some of us worked and some of us stayed home.
Right.
Johnny.
Aw. We always got to mention Johnny on this.
You know what? That motherfucker be vacuuming.
Oh, yeah.
And doing dishes.
Oh, yeah. He's a good one.
Laundry.
Keep him.
I know.
Yeah, definitely a keeper.
Shit. So here I am, like, bitching to the other guy that I was talking to today, the one that I said was in meat for 45 years. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I had to go to this fucking store 3 times this week and this and that. And he's like, well, doesn't it feel good to be needed? And I was like, if I wanted to feel needed, I would have had children. And he looked at me like, you are an evil bitch.
I think it's hilarious.
I do too.
He didn't think you were very funny.
Yeah,
huh? Oh, that's so funny.
So, back to my crazy store director.
Yes.
Not to keep dragging this story out, but by the end of my visit there today, he said, hey, you know, I don't have your phone number. And I go, I don't think I want to give it to you.
Did you seriously say that?
Oh, I said it.
Good.
I said it, but I ended up giving it to him.
He's the one that reached out to the other store director who reached out to your boss. Is that what you said?
No, one of my coworkers.
Yes. Who then that coworker reached back out to you.
Yes. And was like, hey, is this your store? Because the store director's calling me.
Oh, gosh.
I was like, will you just tell him I will be there in the morning?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
But like I said, he runs a tight ship, like.
Maybe that's not a bad thing because you know what? If you have a plan in front of you and products coming in and you just walk up to him and say, here's what I have and this is from corporate, he's going to be like, okay, yeah. So this is the same store director.
I have people that fight me on it and I'm like, hey, listen. Okay, wait, it's the same store director. What?
You're good. This is the same store director. I was kind of telling you the story. So he is like aggressive.
Yes.
And I absolutely, when you were telling the story, I was like, oh, this is the same person. So I had to go there about 7 months ago or so and figure some stuff out in bakery. So there was a display that we had to make and there was all this kind of stuff that we had to do. It was one of my last projects before moving over. And so I get to his and he's very nice with me. He always has been nice with me. What do you need? I showed him the picture. He's like, all right, well, go talk to them in bakery, and I'll be around in a minute. I'm like, oh, okay, no problem. So I'm not even halfway through explaining it to bakery and he walks up behind me.
He's like, are you ready?
Yeah. He was like, all right, I'm here. Here's what you're doing. Here's the plan. I already, they already talked about it on the call and he's real hyper. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Do I have everything ready? My palms start sweating, and I'm just like, okay, do I know what I'm talking about? Because I was like, even though it's like the 10th store I've been, he made me all frazzled and I'm a nervous person anyways.
That's how he is though.
So, what they have these sets of 3 tables.
Yes.
One's tall, one's medium, and what you can do is they nest. Thank you.
Yes.
And so what you can do is, if you only need the one high table or if you need all 3 because you want like what they call a waterfall, right? So they had these 3 tables nesting because she only had, and I'm saying she because it's the deli cake decorator. Yeah. She only had like what she needed for that table. So I'm standing there and I'm looking at the paper and all of a sudden he decides that he's going to pull this table out. He like pulls it, it hits my hip, almost knocks me over. And I was like, oh shit. And like almost fall over. And I kind of just look at him, he goes, oh yeah, sorry. And keep going.
He does not stop.
The person that I'm with looked at me like, oh my God, are you all right? Like they were like, what the fuck just happened?
It's so crazy.
And I'm almost 5'8".
Yeah.
And not weak.
Yeah.
And I mean, he almost knocked me down.
Yeah.
And so the next morning, I was like, I took a shower, I was getting ready to run, and all of a sudden I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with my hip? I'm like, I'm 39, like nothing should be hurting, So I go to look, I had a bruise the size of like a volleyball hit me or something. I was like, oh my God, he like really hit me.
Dude, he does not stop.
But I'm telling you right now, our display at that store, the display at that store was the picture that they used for everyone in the division.
Stop it.
Like, because he's a perfectionist.
He is.
He was like, he walked over to the cake decorator. He's like, I need you to make this, 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 and this. And she was like, okay.
He knows. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. I mean, he's great, but I was like hurt by him.
Right. And that's what I was saying about like this meat manager who's very young.
Yeah.
Like, if he can get through working 10 years with that guy without being offended, he could learn invaluable things.
He'll be that guy's boss.
Guy. Right.
Because the young ones just have that brain that's like a sponge. So he's just watching all of this and learning all of it. But I don't think their approach is correct.
Right.
Yeah.
If you talk to me with no respect, I'm going to give it right back to
you.
Right. So when the coworker called me yesterday and I was like, what the fuck? And I know how this guy is. And I was like pumping myself up this morning when I was getting ready for work. I'm like, I'm not taking no shit from this guy. I'll fucking throw hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I walked in and he gives me an elbow and he's like, I'm so glad. Thank you so much for coming in. And I was like, fuck. I was ready to rip this guy a new asshole because I thought he was going to blame me for shit fucking up and, this and that. And he was like, that meat manager don't know what he's doing, this and that. And I'm just like, oh, well, I don't really think it was his fault. Like, you guys weren't even supposed to have the set, He's like, nope, you know what? It was just a bunch of blaming, and this is not your fault. And I was like, oh, okay, all right, yeah, sure. No, not my fault at all. Which it wasn't, Yeah. It kind of was, but it wasn't.
Were you logged in as the one that ordered all the stuff?
God, or no. Thank God. I let him do it. I was like, hey, I gave him all the barcodes. I was like, here, scan these.
So we'll just remind everyone that you don't work for the company. You work with the company.
Right.
So I'm hoping that, I mean, I know he knows that you work with him,
right,
not for him,
right.
But I also hope that he's that nice and has those moments with who works.
Everybody. Like, you know, I'm putting my makeup on this morning and I'm like going through my head, like what I'm going to say to this motherfucker when he starts yelling at me because shit's fucked up.
I love talking myself up in the morning.
I drove to work angry.
Oh my God.
And I didn't even need to be.
Yeah. Oh.
But I was just like, you know, I'm going to be like, I am not one of your employees that you can talk down to. You know? And he was just like, hey, so happy
because he knows better.
So then I love the produce guy there, right? He's a super cool, like probably about my age, maybe a little bit younger. So I was like, man, I'm like, store director's in a great mood. He goes, yeah, thank me. And I was like, why you? And he's like, was he drinking Starbucks? And I go, yeah, he was. And he goes, I brought him fucking Starbucks today. And I was like, all right, bro, you get double high five today.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm like, now I know. Bring the dude Starbucks, you know? Like, I should have peeked. Like, what is his drink order, you know?
Oh, my gosh. So funny.
So, yeah, it ended up being a really good day, and there was a bunch of store directors there that I deal with on a regular basis, and they all had very nice things to say about me, which I was like, oh, my God.
You're a good worker.
Why would
that even surprise you?
I don't know.
You're so good.
I always feel like I'm in people's way, first of all.
Never.
I feel like I'm a pain in the ass.
Never.
Like, can I get this?
No.
Can you help me with this? I don't know what's going on with this. That's me at work. Hello. Can you help me?
God.
Why am I so like big right now? But I'm at work. I'm like, hi. I'm going to be over here. Don't mind me. I'll try to stay out of your way.
Oh, no problem. Sure. Oh, yeah. No, in 5 minutes, I'll come back. And here you're like, I was telling that guy.
I act like I'm going to be big and bad. I probably would have cried if he yelled at me. Just went to my car.
I could
called my boss.
I could see him throwing that stuff off. Like you said, he was like taking, you're like, oh, I got it. No, I got it. No problem. Oh, missed my basket. That's okay. Trying to catch it. You're in the back like with a catcher's mitt. No, I got it, sir. No problem. But like an hour ago, you were like, this motherfucker, I'm going to tell him what's up.
I'm going to tell him what's up.
Throw my shit on the ground.
It's so true.
I'm the same way.
Oh, it's so true.
Oh my gosh, I used to call people all the time. I'm like, I'm going to tell her that it's this, and this. And then all of a sudden I get another email. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll fucking do it.
And you're like, please and thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Have
always.
a wonderful day.
Yeah. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. But really I wanted to say, fuck you.
That's what my exclamation marks are.
Exactly.
If it's
I hope not, because you just did that to me.
No, you know what I mean? If I'm like, yeah, this was done and have a great day, exclamation mark. And I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Really, it's an upside down middle finger.
Everyone that knows you is looking through their text messages now and their messages.
I always do exclamation marks because you have to be excited about it, you know?
Like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about that at work.
No emotion in a text message.
Yeah, there's no emotion in emails and text messages. So like our group, we're fun.
Yeah.
You know, yes, we have some serious things that we have to do. Right? We have divisions, you know, whatever. But we try to like a smiley face or like a heart or, you know, you always try to like give that emotion.
Boobies.
Like, yeah. Well, no, I don't do that.
Spooky boobies.
Spooky boobies. But no, I don't do that at work, but only to you.
Okay.
And our bestie. I like how you sent like the spooky boobies, but you're like, but mine are wider apart or something. What did you say?
Well,
they separated.
On my text, it was like one was on one line and one was on the next line. I'm like, oops, my boobies separated.
And you know what? When I got it, they weren't.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's probably because I have my text very tiny.
Yeah.
I look at my sister, Jenny. I don't know how... I could probably read her text right now from where she lives.
Really?
Like,
let's look out the window.
She has it the biggest. And I was like, I hope you aren't sexting right now because the whole fucking county can see what you're writing.
Well, they were just talking about how it was a full moon. It was probably just her phone on. Wow, the full moon. It's so bright. Nope, it's just Jenny's phone.
Just Jenny's sexting. Lit up the whole damn sky.
Oh, God.
I just want to talk about how, you know, we have to go get even a mammogram, right?
Yeah.
We got to go get our boobs between the paddles, and it fucking hurts like a bitch. I've never had it done.
So how would you know?
I'm still young. But I've heard a lot of women talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So, and I unlike most doctors, don't take women's pain and shove it down. Like, oh, no, it doesn't hurt that bad, you know? And then, like, it's a thing on TikTok right now where they're cutting the orange. Did I talk about this?
No.
They're cutting the orange with the thing that they go up into your cervix and take tissue samples with.
Oh, okay.
And guys are like, holy fuck, they do that to your insides? And it's like, yeah. And then we're, told to take some Tylenol and go back to fucking work,
Oh,
and it's like, can we talk about how women go through all this fucking pain? Yeah. And we're expected to just deal with it, We
have very high pain tolerance.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, we were just laughing because we were talking about, like, how they put your breasts, like, in the paddles and squeeze them. So it's a little uncomfortable. The only reason why mine hurt is because she accidentally got my bottom rib on there.
Oh, God.
And so she went... Jesus. And so I thought it was normal, and I'm just like, wow, this is really a little uncomfortable. And then she put like more pressure. I'm like, it feels like my rib is going to break. And she's like, oh, wait. And she like had to loosen it.
That's what I mean.
And so I got like a little bruise on my rib.
We are just expected like, oh yeah, that really fucking hurts. But
I was just
like,
it's
not that bad. Yeah. I'll just sit here and deal with it until my rib cracks.
I did. I was like, that feels a little uncomfortable. She's like, yeah. And put like a little more pressure. I'm like, yeah, that's really, really, really hurting.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, yeah, your rib is in there. Like after she took the x-ray, I'm like, okay. And what do guys go through, did you say? What's the...
they had to put a finger up my butthole. I had to go get a hose up my butt so they could take pictures of my anus. Oh, give me a fucking break.
Every year we get scraped
and fucking
pressed on
and fucking punched in the belly. Fuck. And they're like, it doesn't hurt that bad. Take some Tylenol. Fuck you! That's the thing I hate most. Okay, we all know I don't have kids, right?
Steve got home from the doctor once. He was like, man, I feel like I got a fever. I'm like, dude, God. Stop it.
Go to bed. Go to fucking bed. I'll take care of everything. Aww. Just like I always do. No. No, that's not Steve, but, okay, so, like I said, I don't have kids, So I hate when a doctor says, well, 1 out of 10, 1 being not painful at all, and 10 being very painful. What is your pain level at?
Yeah.
Well, I never want to say 10 because I feel like 10 is like you're bleeding out, right?
Oh, right.
None of us want to say 10 because it's like, well, I mean, I guess I'm not dying.
Yeah, how do you gauge that? Because we all have different pain tolerances and we've all been through different things. Like, I've never broken a bone before, knock on wood.
Right.
I'm knocking on wood right now.
Apparently.
So I don't know how it would feel.
Apparently, if you have had children, that's a 10.
But you wouldn't know. You haven't had children.
Okay, so apparently I'm not in that much pain then.
Yeah, but I don't know about that. Have you broken a bone?
Doesn't that piss you off, though?
A little bit. And I have children.
Right.
But
just because
compared to something else, yeah.
And that's exactly, they were like, well, that was when I threw my back out and I couldn't stand up. Yeah. And that was the most painful thing I've ever been through. And no, I have not broken a bone.
Yeah. Okay.
Knocking on wood again.
So they should say on a scale of 1 to 10 with all the pain you've had in your life, where are we at right now?
Right. And I was like 9.5. And she's like, well, do you have kids? And I was like, oh, what does that have to do with how I can't
9.5?
I can't fucking stand up right now.
Yeah.
She's like, well, if you haven't like given birth. And I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do?
Oh no.
You know what I
don't
mean?
Like that.
I hate that. That's why I don't go to the doctor.
Yeah, I don't
them.
like that.
They're racist against women.
I know we have a few friends that have not had children, and it's always like, oh, so when are you having them and all that kind of stuff.
So annoying.
And it's, yeah.
You know what? Annoying. But I've seen because I'm addicted to TikTok, I got to bring it up at least once on an episode. And people are like, not having kids is like the new flex. Like everybody has to talk about it, like, oh, I don't have kids. And I'm like, yeah, because we're like, fuck you assholes. We're going on vacation. Right. Have fun watching Barney. Is that even a thing anymore? Barney? Whatever.
It was when my kids were young, but that was 20 years ago.
Have fun watching Coco Melon.
Oh, gosh. I don't even know what that is.
I bet that fucked you up, didn't it? That I knew what that was. I don't even have kids.
I don't even know what Baby Shark is or anything. I'm out of that.
God, don't talk about it.
I don't even know. I've never heard the music or anything, so that's good.
Be grateful.
I am grateful. My kids are older.
That shit gets stuck in my head.
So speaking of, this has nothing to do with retail, so now let's go back real quick. I love how we just got to go off.
I know.
Speaking of stuff in your head, can we talk about the music that they play in all the stores that you have to listen to? Like, when is holiday music going to start? Which I don't mind because
I love holiday music.
I'm a Hallmark Channel junkie.
Dude.
Do you know?
You sent me Snapchat this morning. I was like, bitch, not till November 1st.
Today is October 22nd. We are recording again on a Friday. My ass woke up at 5 a.m. to watch the first Christmas movie on Hallmark of the season.
You are an asshole, and that's why it's cold outside.
I know.
People like your ass is what makes it cold outside.
I did.
If y'all just didn't turn on the Christmas shit.
I watched it from 5 to 7, then I got ready to go to the dentist.
Oh, my God.
It was so cute. Anyways, so in the stores, they have songs on repeat.
And they're all the ones I listened to when I was like 15. Thank you very much.
Yes. So I was reading an article that said the reason why they play a mixture of the fun 90s and the 80s, and believe it or not, that was like 30 and 40 years ago.
Don't remind me.
30 years ago.
It was 20. Who are we kidding? It was 20.
All right, so the 2000s then, right?
Yeah.
It's because it brings back good memories for people. And that's why they play.
Shop.
Yeah, and then they shop and they feel nostalgic and this is fun stuff.
That's why shopping puts you in a better mood.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I remember a few years ago when I first started at the job that you're at, I was in stores and we were talking and they only played Italian music.
Oh.
So because that was what they wanted to portray, right?
Yes.
That you were in Italy.
Yes.
And it would be like elevator music and some would have words. So there was a store that there were Italian people that worked there or Italian speaking, team members that worked there and they loved it because they understood it.
Yeah.
But they realized that people didn't understand it. And for those that didn't understand it, it always sounded the same.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
So it always, because you didn't, you can tell the difference, but when you don't understand something, it probably sounds the same to you.
Blah, blah, blah,
it's
blah,
like
blah,
going,
blah, blah.
It would be like me going to a concert, like a country concert. I never listen to country really. And so every song would sound the same.
I would say more like maybe like a Latino concert. Or at least you're singing in a different language.
All country music sounds the same to me now. I don't know who they are. Like people like Brianna will Snapchat like a newer country person and she'll Snapchat like his one song and then his other song and it all sounds like the same song. I'm like, did you just go to a concert and he played the same song for 4 hours? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, so.
But yes, Latino as well.
Me growing up, I was listening to country before it was like cool to listen to country.
Yeah,
so
same. I
Garth
did like my
Brooks,
freshman year. Yes.
Travis,
I would call that the
Tritt,
classic. Yeah.
Travis, whoever else.
Yep.
Dolly.
Yep.
And then it like went super mainstream, right? So I still listen to country every once in a while. Like I have one country station out of all 10 of my preset stations.
But it plays, for my station, it plays what I used to listen to, not now.
See, and
I don't listen to the now
There
stuff.
are no good stations for country from then.
Yeah.
Like, great, so I got to break out my CDs.
I think for mine, it's like a Garth Brooks station, but they don't just play all Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
It's all
it's
in
a
that
mix.
time.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
When the thunder rolls. Sorry.
Isn't there a song about like
stuck in my head? Shit. And the lightning strikes. You might have to edit that out.
No way! I love it. So this makes me laugh because once again we're going to go back to retail. They play the same 30 songs.
Yes.
But what I was impressed with where we worked is that like every fifth song would be a pretty popular one.
Yes.
But unfortunately, then you would get in your car on the way home
and you'd hear
and
it
you would
again.
hear it and you'd be like, fuck this shit. And you would immediately, I would immediately turn it.
Yeah, the place where we used to work together, it would be like, I don't know, probably once every 2 years, they would like update their playlist. Thunder roll.
I got that in my freaking head.
And the lightning strikes.
Why?
I can't remember the rest of it. No, on a stormy night. And the day goes on out of control. And the thunder rolls. Boom, boom, boom.
I'm crying.
I can't remember all the words. If it was playing in the background, I could sing every word.
That was amazing. I'm crying. Oh, shit.
Anyways.
I'm going to make that one of our things.
Stop it.
Oh my God, it's excellent. Anyways.
Okay, wait. This is a side story that you can't put on the podcast.
So I had a workout.
No, wait, hold on. I want to stop and say we just took a little break.
Yeah, we did.
And you were like, oh, I can't tell this story. I'm like, you are absolutely telling that story. Because if he's listening right now, we know you're listening.
He's not listening.
Okay,
so
tell
this
your
is
story.
The second time this has happened to me. I do not let work know that I have this.
Right.
I
don't talk about it at work either.
Right. I just don't want to.
And people try to talk to me about it at work, and I'm like, no. We don't discuss that here.
Right. Like, it's Friday night right now.
Yep.
And then during the day, we work at our jobs, right? Because I never want to,
Right.
Right. Okay.
We never name names. We never say where we are.
Right.
You may have your opinion or your suspicions.
Yeah.
There are a million people named Meredith, and there are a billion people named Cassandra.
Right.
So,
well, and I basically, like, this is a job for us, right?
Right.
So, and we have two jobs.
Yep.
We wouldn't want to do this, during the day when we have our first jobs, right? That pay the bills. And, so anyways, so I go out to, I burped.
Nice burp.
So I go out to a work outing, and this is the second time it's happened to me. So I have my mask on, because we are inside a building,
right?
And this amazing person that I work with a lot of amazing people, but there's one that's just funny. And so the fridges at my work, because I work with younger, fun people, are filled with drinks, beer. Like, they love to be done at 5 o'clock.
Because you guys have, like, you do 1 or 2 nights a week. Either you'll do an activity or you just go on the rooftop and hang out and have drinks.
So you have to have some drinks. Yeah. So they get to this place and they've already had a couple drinks. Yeah. So I'm laughing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so fun. And this I want to call him a kid because he seems like a kid to me, but he's not.
Call him a kid.
No, he's not.
Anybody under 30 is a kid.
For me,
nowadays.
Because I'm 39. And it just reminds me of my children, which is why I do that. So I apologize if I'm offending anyone.
Yes.
So he walks up, he puts his arms out, and he was like, I found this new podcast. And thank God I had my mask on, because I know everything turned bright red. And I stared at him.
Tell me more.
But he kind of paused, like waiting for an answer.
See what you would say.
Yeah, and he was like, because I look up a lot of retail podcasts.
Oh my God.
And this one's called The Grocer, and I was like, sigh of relief. But it's the second time he's done this to me.
This is the second time. He knows.
Do you think he knows?
knows?
Okay, if he's listening, send me a message next week. It's just weird. It's the second time. Like,
has he ever seen your car?
No.
How do you know?
Did I tell you the story about when I went with someone, though?
Yes.
Did I tell it on here?
No.
So I have my sticker on my car, and I met some peeps at a store, because that is pretty much why they hired me.
Yeah.
They told me that. It's experience.
Yes.
And a lot of people, not a lot of people, but people have said, can you lead us through a store walk and I want to kind of see what you do. Perfect. So I met a couple people at a store, and forgetting that I have the Clopen effect on my window, I park next to this very nice analyst that I work with often. And he is brilliant, so nothing gets past him. So I'm standing there, and I can tell that he's talking to me, and he's looking to the right, like past me. And I'm like, what does he keep looking at? It's because he kept looking at the Clopen symbol on my car. So I kind of like shimmy over to the left a little bit and block it. And then you could tell that he was like, oh, okay. I'm standing there.
Nothing. Yeah.
But you could tell he was like, why is she moving? What is she doing? She's so weird.
What is that? What is that? A shopping cart on the back of her car?
And so I did. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to be in trouble. Nothing. I was surprised for you.
Get the fuck out. We don't even have anybody here. Why am I always surprised? Okay. You guys probably think I'm really not surprised. Every time she says, I have a surprise for you, I'm legitimately surprised.
That's because she's impressed that I do homework before we get on here.
I forget every week.
Because we're very ad-lib, right? We would just talk about whatever, but we
always say, what are we going to talk about tonight?
And it just always flows.
I don't know.
Always.
Yep.
So we were talking about music in stores.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Oh, shit.
So what artist should I listen to? It's 10 questions. Okay. It's going to tell you who you should listen to.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to die laughing if it's Garth Brooks.
And the thunder rolls.
Okay, you ready?
And the lightning strike. Okay,
so this is from, it's called proprofs.com. So it's PROPROFS.com, just so we don't get in trouble.
Proprofs.
Yes. Okay. So it says, which genre? What genre of music is your favorite? R&B, hip hop, rap, indie pop, alt rock, electro, anything that's different, anything with a quality melody.
Okay, this is going to surprise a lot of you, but it's probably hip hop and rap.
Yeah. Doesn't surprise me because I know you.
Well, yeah, but you know me.
Okay.
You know my style. My G-Thang style. Sorry. That's because when I was a kid, B96 came out.
Yeah. Did you go to B96 crazy. Bash? Did you ever go to that?
I was too young.
Oh. What's more important, good lyrics or a good melody and beat?
Good melody and beat.
Good melody and beat.
Yeah.
I'm a lyric person.
I probably don't even know the lyrics half the time, especially when I'm listening to like rap. Like I'm just like, oh yeah, that sounds cool.
So I'll start to listen to a melody and then the words have to make sense. If they don't make sense, no.
Okay.
What's more important in a music video, a story or artistic image?
Okay, so this takes me back to Tool, right?
Yes.
When the Tool videos came out and they were so fucking creepy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say like a story because that shit that was awesome back then. See, I listen to everything.
Bands or solo artists?
Oh, that's a hard one.
That is a hard one because, I mean, they're both
I like
brilliant.
both. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. There actually is an option of it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, perfect.
Doesn't matter.
I missed it. Sorry, we're still loading. Okay, perfect. What kind of music do you not like? Rap, pop, country, electronic? You like it all kind of, don't you? A little bit?
Probably my least favorite is electronic.
Yeah, me too.
See?
I think we're going to be similar.
Yeah, you know me.
Which lyric speaks most to you? Okay, so there's like a whole lot.
Okay.
It's better to be hated than loved for what you're not. Sometimes before it gets better, the darkness gets bigger. The person that you take a bullet for is behind the trigger. Is that a country song?
Holy shit.
There's a lot more. Hold on.
Has to be.
Smile even though you're sad. Hold me in this wild, wild world, because in your warmth, I forget how cold it can be. What? I haven't even heard of these before. Is anyone singing these?
I'm going to stop you right there, and I'm going to say smile even though you're sad.
Hold on. Wait. There's more.
Okay.
I got dreams. Don't hold me down. Peace will win and fear will lose. If I'm not lost, how can I find myself? Or, it's crazy how this love thing seems unfair. You won't find a love like mine anywhere.
Smile even though you're sad.
Okay, perfect. I didn't even have to finish, but I did.
The one that was like the other, I can't even think of the other one, but I was like, is that Smash Mouth?
Maybe. I feel like I haven't even heard any of that. Like I couldn't even like pretend to sing to them because I wouldn't know the melody.
Yeah.
What's more important to you in a band or artist? Lovable members, artistic style, lots of musical influences, mystery, raw talent. While you're thinking, we're on question 7.
Of those. Read them to me again.
Okay, so it's what's more important to you in a band or artist? Lovable members, artistic style, lots of musical influences, mystery, raw talent.
Probably lots of musical instruments. Is that what it was?
Influences. You want to do that?
Instruments.
That's a tough one.
I don't care. Like, I don't care. If I like the song, I like the song.
Yeah.
There's no rhyme or reason to the music that I like.
Yeah,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Me too.
I like it all.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Which one of these topics would you want to hear a song about? A girl who can't dance.
That's definitely country.
The life of a rock star. Leaving your mark on the world, a high school dance, the moon and sun falling in love. That's a country song.
They all sound like country songs.
Being a teenager also sounds like a country song. Someone stealing your car radio. Also a country song.
No,
or hip hop. The Greek myth of Icarus. Is that how you say it?
Fuck. I want someone
how
stealing.
How do you say Icarus? Icarus? Icarus?
I see.
I know. Christine says that I say Illinois wrong.
Icarus?
She says I say Illinois.
Illinois.
How do you say it?
Do you say milk or milk?
Milk. So I say Illinois. She just posted it to Clip and said,
Illinois.
You say Illinois. I say Illinois, she's saying. That's so funny. Christine, you're funny.
You know what? I say Illinois.
Oh.
Really piss some people off.
Anyways.
Okay. I want a song about somebody's car radio getting stolen.
Yes. So is that hip hop or country?
I don't know.
All right,
it could be either.
You know what? We're going to find out here in about one more question. Where do you listen to music most?
In my car.
All right, because it's going to say car ride, parties, night, school.
Car.
We all know that.
Yeah.
You always have your car stories.
Always.
Pick a city. Pompeii, Italy, New York City, London, England, L.A., Paris, France.
Wait, New York City.
We got both sides, right? We got East and West Coast. Italy, London, France.
They don't have California on there?
Well, they got L.A.
Oh.
I think that's California last time I checked.
Jesus. Okay, wait, read them to me again.
Oh, my
God.
God.
I'm terrible.
They have Los Angeles, California. I know it's hard when you're not reading it.
I have to focus so hard.
Okay, so they have Italy, New York, London, France, Los Angeles, California. If you don't pick Los Angeles, everyone's going to be disappointed.
I want New York.
New York it is. That's hilarious.
I want New York.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
View my results. Panic at the Disco.
What?
Is the band you should be listening to.
I actually kind of like Panic at the Disco. So. Because I do listen to like, I'll say Q101, which if you're not from here, you don't know. But that's like a rock alternative kind of mix of today and, 90s, 2000s.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I like Panic at the Disco.
Can you name one song from them?
Oh, fuck.
Sing. Come on, sing for us. You've been singing all night.
No, I don't. You can't put me on the spot like that. Like,
all
I don't
right.
Even,
High Hopes? House of Memories?
Yes, High Hopes. Yes.
I Write Sins, Not Tragedies. That's a good one. That's a good one.
I can hear High Hopes in my head, but I can't, like...
Really?
I can't.
Okay, that was so fun. So we talked about, like, 2 things. We talked about 3 things. We talked about your meat department.
Yep.
My breasts.
Yep. Spooky boobies.
And spooky boobies and music.
And lots of music.
Wow.
Because I got high hopes.
That's not a country.
No, I know.
Can you do like, now you're really good at this. Can you do hip hop saying that same line? Huh?
Because I got high hopes.
Now can you do it with country? You're so good at it.
Yeah, I got high hopes. Gotta shoot for the stars, make a living, something. Those are all mixed up words, but that's the song.
Now, how about if you lived in Italy?
Oh, I don't even know what Italy music sounds like. I just think of the guy on doing the boat. What's the boat?
Yes. That's how they get everywhere.
And he's like, and then the people fall asleep. They're like, in the boat.
Now, I just want people to imagine you doing all this music while they're working and stocking toilet paper, all right? Just keep stocking that toilet paper.
And the thunder rolls.
Hey, real quick.
What?
Thank you to everyone that shared our shit.
Thank you for sharing our shit.
So all I did was say our numbers
Please
were a little bit low.
Yes.
You know, they were a little bit lower because everyone's busy doing their stuff. Well, you've even gotten the texts like, oh my gosh, I forgot. I'm a couple episodes behind. I'll get there.
I forgot today
was Friday. And we had like 20 shares. Yeah, I didn't even listen yet.
I forgot today was Friday. I thought it was like motherfucking Monday.
So I went to the dentist and all of a sudden I come back out and I have like 6 messages and it's Brianna and she's like laughing, dead, you know, all that kind of stuff. I'm like,
and you're like, oh,
it's Friday.
What happened? Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. New episode today. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday.
Thank you for sharing our stuff. Really appreciate our numbers are back up and they're rolling. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Go buy some stuff at our merch store.
Ooh. Don't you want a t-shirt?
I love mine. So soft.
Dude, they're so soft. I sleep in it.
This is our last episode of spooky season. Yeah, can you believe it?
Ooh, spooky. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by Nametag Productions, LLC. Entire podcast, unless otherwise stated, written by the hosts. Keyboards, written and performed by my daughter, Julia. The Clopen Effect, a retail podcast. If we have to be all in this together, we might as well make it fun.